Have you guys ever wondered what's the best way to warm up or practice in Fortnite Battle Royale? Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some things that you can do to warm up or even practice in Fortnite Battle Royale. I've been doing these things for 2 to 3 months now, every day, and I've seen significant improvements in my building and in my aim, and this is something that a lot of streamers do as well, and just professional players in general. So before we get too far into the video, if you guys would please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a lot. Let's get right on into the video. So if you guys want to skip into only in-game Fortnite tips, then hit the timestamp on the screen. If not, these are going to be some out-of-game things that you can do. So the first one is going to be downloading Osoo. This is something that Myth has stood by. Pretty much every CSGO professional player has used Osoo, and a lot of Fortnite pros use Osoo as well. This is for if you want better tracking and just better mouse movement in general. Now, this is not going to help any console players out, these first two things, but if you are on PC, this is going to help you out a lot. So you're just going to want to get on Osoo, download some games, maybe even some beat maps, you know, some skins, whatever. And it's basically just to help your tracking and your clicking. So this is going to help with your aim and just mouse movement in general. This is the basis of the game. You just got to click these circles and it helps out your aim. It gets really fast on some insane maps. This map is insane right now, so you can kind of get a gist of what it is. And I'm not very good at this. I've only started using this the past 2 or 3 months. Some people play this every day for like 2 hours before they start streaming, and it helps them out a lot, but I'm trying to get better at this as well. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. This has helped me out a lot as far as just tracking and my aim in general. So that's going to be the first thing. So the next thing is something that you can do out of game. This is going to be on aimbooster.com. Now you can either do the challenge, which is if you're already good at the game, but we're going to be going into the training section. There's a bunch of different things you can get on here. Reactions, so you can get your reaction time quicker. Sniping, which is kind of figuring out where the target's going to be and clicking on the right time. Double shoot is when you're going to have to click 2 circles simultaneously. Precision, you just got to click really tiny circles. Twitch is going to be for flick shots, and speed is just going to be how many you can click at a time. So auto balance is what you're going to want to go into. You can change some of these settings if you want. If not, just leave them. I like to leave them and just start. So this is going to be for reaction time, flick, pretty much everything. Personally, I don't use this. I use the speed, and this just helps clicks in general and helping me not miss. So you can see this just helps out your accuracy a lot, and it tells you what your accuracy is going to be. And that's pretty much the gist of it. You can keep playing this. I usually only play this for like 2 or 3 minutes a day just to warm up my wrist and just kind of warm up my shots in general, my flicks. But yeah, those are the first 2 things that you can do. Those are out of game once again. So once you're done doing those, I usually play Osoo for 15 to 30 minutes, and I usually only play this for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I hop right into Fortnite. So you just launched your Fortnite Battle Royale, and you're ready to get some warm-up matches in, or even practice a little bit before you get on. This is going to be the best way to do that. So currently, Epic Games has blessed us with the Playgrounds game mode. Now, if the Playgrounds game mode ever does get taken away, you can just do this in a solo or a squad match or whatever limited time mode is available, and you're just gonna either want to drop Wailing Woods or Moisty Mires, whichever one is out of the battle bus path the most. So you're gonna want to drop somewhere where there's a lot of materials and there's gonna be typically no players, but since we have playground mode, we can go straight into this. So the first thing that we're gonna want to practice is going to be anything with stairs. So the first thing that I usually practice is going to be stair pushing, not just regular stair pushing like this. It's going to be the stairs with the wall push. I messed that up, sorry guys. I'll give you a quick demonstration and then I'll show you guys how to do it. So this is what it looks like when applied. You can see really nice, really smooth, good movement. You can push someone really fast with this. It does take a lot of materials, but in game you should have quite a bit, so And you usually won't go this high. You'll usually only go probably around like right here, maybe like 4 or 5 stories up, and then from there you're just gonna have the high ground on them most likely, so you can work it from there. So in order to do this, usually the easiest way to do this is do sort of a circle motion. That's how I like to do it. I go counterclockwise, you can go clockwise, whatever feels more comfortable. But basically, you're gonna be putting your stairs down either at the top or at the bottom of the circle, and then I put my stairs down at the top of the circle, and then you're gonna switch to your walls and you're gonna place those at the bottom of the circle. So you can kind of see in slow motion I'm making a big circle, and you're gonna want to stand in the middle of the 2 stairs. This is the easiest way to do it. So big circle, placing my stairs at the top of the circle, and then my walls at the bottom of the circle. And then this is what it would look like if you're going the other way. If you're going clockwise. You can see I'm not that good at it, but you can still do it. So you can also modify it if you want to place your stairs at the bottom and then your walls at the top. I've never really done this because, as you can see, it kind of places stairs in a weird spot and it just doesn't feel natural for me. So just experiment with this. You can see, yeah, it just feels weird to me. You can experiment with that and see what's the best way for you, the quickest way you can do it, and the most comfortable way. So I'll usually build 2 or 3 of those, and then I like to go on and modify it. So I'll still keep doing this, except I'll build off into a certain direction. So I'll do like, you know, to the right or something like this. And you can see it works out really well. And this is just if you're trying to once again push someone, but they're maybe off to the side, or you don't want to push them straight on. You just do this to go into a different direction. So it's the same thing. You're just gonna want to do your stair push, but then you're gonna want to start going off to the side. And I fell. But this is why we practice. So you can see it works out really good. And that's just if you're trying to go into a different direction. You can also do it the other way. Typically you'll find that you go in one direction better than the other, so I go in my left direction way better, just because the natural movement of my stairs as I fall and die. And just a quick tip as we're falling down, you want to practice one of these until you can get really fast at it and then move on to the next one. So I'll sit here and I'll do probably like 3 or 4 of these stair ramp pushes, or stair wall pushes, and then once I get really fast at them and I feel comfortable with them, I'll go on to the next build guide sort of thing. So the next thing that I like to practice is 1x1s. So the easiest way to do a 1x1 is just swing into a circle. So I'll show you here. Swing into a circle, and then you're gonna place your stair facing the opposite way to where the highest point of the stair is away from you, and you're just gonna jump. And then as you go on to the next level, start where the top of your stair is and walk up the stair and then go back. And you're just basically gonna like zigzag. It's okay if you miss a couple walls here and there, or even if you place the stair the wrong way. This is why we practice. So the reason why your stair places the wrong way, oh my gosh, is if you don't fully look back at this wall. If you still are barely looking at this wall, it's going to place your ramp facing the wrong way. So whenever you do this, you're going to want to make sure that you look all the way back over to this one, or else it's going to place your stair like that. Well, I ran out of mats, but it would have placed it facing the other way. And then once I get to the top here, I like to just edit my way down so I can get used to editing stairs, making them just thinner stairs. A lot of times the only time you're gonna edit your stair is either to change the direction, or to make it thinner to drop down on someone, or just build down out of your base. And we have reached almost the bottom. Now we reach the bottom. You get some more mats real quick. So once you reach the bottom, what I like to do is go into the I'll just make that like that, is to go into the double stair pushing to block your back. Maybe you're in a build fight and you just built yourself a 1x1 and now you need to change directions, but they're still looking at you from behind and you need to sort of protect yourself. This is what it looks like. You just do that, and it protects the top of your head from getting shot from behind. So what you usually do is you're building out, they're behind you, you build one bottom stair and leave the top stair open on the last stair once you want to start going up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna place a wall right here, turn around, place 3 walls, place 1 blocking your back, and then place a stair to get back up. So I'll do it real here. Boom, and of course my stair blocks me in. Okay, nice. So here I'll do it again in the full motion of it. So let's say you're just here, need to build out. Boom, 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 leave the last one, and boom. Now I'm going the other way, and then once again we can start here. Maybe you just edit wall and you're out. Boom. Now the easiest way to do this would probably just to be building yourself like a little 1x1 with the roof. Doing it, I'm gonna run out of mats. Going up and then just practice placing 3 walls, swinging, jumping, and editing. So what I like to pretend to do, a quick tip for when you're practicing your building, I like to pretend I'm in a build fight, so I try to recreate scenarios if I was in a build fight. So most of the time you're gonna have a wall right here and you're gonna need to edit that wall. So a lot of times I'll just practice editing it, and of course it doesn't place the top stair. That's why we're practicing. And then boom, swing around, place it, and we'll just swing around again. So let's say you need to edit, go back this way. Of course it doesn't place the top stair. Jeez. Boom, swing around, edit, bring yourself back up, and you could just keep practicing this a bunch of times. I'll do it last time. Edit, top, and I ran out of mats. So you can see you can just keep doing it back and forth, changing directions each time until you get that down. This is probably the most used thing when you're in a build fight, is editing, you know, directions and switching directions on people. The next thing that I like to practice is just building up really high. So I'm not using 1x1s. You're basically just gonna place 2 walls, a stair on your first one, and then from there you're gonna place a platform and then a stair. So I messed that up, but so that's basically what it looks like. Just pretty simple, 2 stairs and a platform, and then a staircase, or 2 walls and then a platform, staircase. Once again, as you're going down, just practice your editing. So editing the right side to get down, you know, whatever side you need to edit the stair to get down. Editing the platform, did not mean to shoot there. So this is just really useful if you need to build up and you don't have, like, you don't want to waste the resources to build a full 1x1. Saves you a little bit of resources, and it's actually really useful. Alright, so another technique is similar to this in order to get high ground, except it's if you're trying to push someone that's on like a mountain or something that's a little bit higher than you. So let's say, let me try to find a good hill. So let's say I'm just trying to do this. So you're gonna place around, I usually like to place 2 stairs, place a wall right here, and then what I like to do is, so like let's say I'm focusing on someone over here, someone behind me is shooting at me with high ground. What I like to do from here is place 2 walls like this, place 2 more walls like this, turn around, and place my two stairs down. So once again, 2 walls right here, 2 more walls on top, and then ramping up. So, oh, my stairs gonna just kick me off the side. So once again, 2 walls right there, boom, 2 walls right there. Ah, I messed it up. Let's go this way. 2 walls, 2 walls, boom. So let's say, let's go up 2 more, 2 walls, 2 walls, boom. And I usually just like to place two more ramps. So this is really good for a couple situations. I really don't find myself using it that much, but it still helps if you're just trying to get high ground on someone. or if you're just trying to push someone that has higher ground than you and you want to just keep changing directions and making them guess where you're going to be at, it's usually pretty useful to do that. Alright, so the last thing I like to practice is quick edits. So the way I do this, like I said, you want to sort of do everything and train as if you were in a build fight. So you'll see Nick A30 does this a lot. He really likes this during build fights. So let's say you're trying to get the high ground on someone, they start shooting at you, and you start placing your floors down to protect your head. Well, once you stop shooting, you're gonna have to edit your way out of this. So once again, just quick edits. Maybe even changing direction, going forward a little bit. And my edits won't come out, jeez. So this is also something, once you get in a rhythm of it, you get better at it. I did not mean to place that. And this is usually how Nick A30 does it. You'll see a lot of times he'll sit. So let me build out a little bit. So let's say he starts getting shot at, and he keeps placing down every time they break it. He keeps placing down a new floor. As soon as they stop breaking, you'll see he'll just keep pushing like as much as he can before they start shooting back at him. I ran out of mat. Oh no, I didn't. I hit the build limit. But he'll try to run up as much as he can before they start peeking out again, because you really don't want to be, you know, let's say he stops firing at me. You don't really, jeez. You don't really want to be in a situation where you're only pushing up once. I mean, he'll do that sometimes, but if you know that they're gonna spend a lot of time reloading, maybe push up 2 or 3 levels, and then wow, okay, push up like 2 or 3 levels and then keep going. You just don't want to push up 1 level unless they're continuously just keep on shooting you over and over and over again. A lot of times you just want to gain as much high ground as you can before they start shooting at you again. But geez, let me reset these. You can do it so that you only go up 1 level. I just prefer to try to go up 2 levels. And sometimes it'll glitch like that, or you can place your stair through. Maybe that might work for you a little bit better if you can't do this. I'm not so good at this. A lot of times I'll usually just go up like 3 levels and then place another platform. But like you saw there, you can place 2 and then block yourself off on this one, so that, you know, as soon as you edit your pyramid or your floor, you can go back up 1. You don't have to worry about placing another stair. But this is what I like to practice. I'm not that good at it, but you saw once I got my rhythm and started to do it a little bit more fluidly, it went a lot faster. So that's basically the key to these, is you want to find out when your rhythm is, when you can get your rhythm going, and you sort of want to try to replicate your rhythm whenever you practice. So every time you do this, whenever you practice, you're going to want to keep on trying to find that rhythm again, find out where it's at, and start using it more and more. Try to just get to your rhythm a little bit faster and sort of stay in your rhythm. That's basically the key to all these. That's why I'm so good at you know, ramp wall pushing, is because I know my rhythm. I know how to find it as I mess up. I know how to find my rhythm pretty well. So this works out really good for me, because I can just keep it going. You know, I can find out where my fastest placement is, and I can just keep going from there. Also, I've practiced this a lot. I've probably practiced just this stair ramp push or stair wall push. Probably practiced it for like an hour now, at least, just doing this over and over and over again. So yeah, that's just basically what you're gonna want to try to do, is just find your rhythm, find what works best for you, try to replicate it. Also, keybinds are a big thing. If you guys don't have your keys rebound, that's gonna significantly decrease your build time. Just because like F1, F2, F3, F4 are just way too difficult to place. You can see my keybinds. You don't really want to replicate any streamers keybinds. You can watch sort of why, you know, I think Cypher PK did a video on sort of his binds, and he said, you know, don't really replicate these, use it as a template, see why I used certain keybinds, and why I, rebound this to this, my struggles. If you're having the same struggles, maybe try the same thing. But maybe in the future I'll do a video on all my keybinds, so you guys can kind of see my weak points and why I bounce certain keys to certain areas. But these are my keybinds I like the most. I feel really good with these keybinds. Feel like I don't have too many weaknesses with it, and I can really just build from here. Now, if you guys want to, you can practice this. This is like an extra tip. I don't really do this just because it is so difficult to do, and I don't really ever find myself in game needing to do this. But let me build up a little bit higher. What it is it's if you're at a very, very tall point and you want to sort of fall down, maybe you're getting shot at, you don't have time to edit your way down, you just need to fall really quick. This is what you do. So it's basically placing 2 walls as you fall and then a staircase. I'm not good at it. I don't know many people that are good at it, but I'll try to do it here. So that's basically the gist of it. It's basically just using turbo build to save yourself. Let's see if I can get all the way down though. This is a good one. I'm running. Oh yeah, I ran out of mats, but you guys get the gist of that one. Just place walls as you fall and then place a stair down. I don't see too many people doing that in game. I've never used it in game. It just usually never works. It ends up with you falling and dying. But if you want to practice that, you can. A little bonus practice. But that's gonna wrap it up for the building segment. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to practice some aim in game if you don't want to do any of the out of game exercises, or maybe you're on console and you can't really, go on a website. There's no reason for you to, aim on a mouse when you have a controller. So I'll show you guys some things you can do in game for aim. Alright, so this is going to be the aim portion of this guide. This is probably the simplest way to practice your aim in game. You can even do this as you're loading into the game. When you're on the battle bus island, you can do this. And the first thing is going to be static tracking. This is probably the most important aspect of aiming. So you're going to want to find a point that you can focus on. I'll focus on those little flowers right there. And you're just basically going to want to walk to the side and try to keep your crosshair on that specific point as much as you can. This is also how you're going to find your sensitivity. So let's say I'm aiming, let's actually pick out just one of these flowers. So I'm aiming at this far right flower. Maybe you're overcompensating. So as you're moving to the side, you're overly compensating to the other side because your sensitivity is too high. So at that point, if you're overcompensating, you're gonna want to lower it. Or let's say I'm undercompensating, so I'm keeping my aim too far in front. I'm not on the target as much, I'm just in front of the target. That's if your sensitivity is too low. At that point, you're gonna want to aim or you're gonna want to higher it. So you're just gonna want to find a middle point where you can comfortably maintain your aim as much as possible on that one point. And then you're going to want to vary your distances once you do find your sensitivity. So up close is going to be a lot more difficult just because, the slight movement is just over exaggerated when you're up close. So like up this close is going to be really difficult. And then you're just going to want to go really far away. I'll go probably just right here. I usually like to do this with the light post in the spawn island. You can just do this, and then that's static tracking. When you're actually in game in the battle bus spawn island, you can do dynamic tracking, which is basically when someone else is jumping around or moving around, you're just going to do the same. You're going to try to follow them as much as possible, and that's probably the best way because it's a true player. You're going to be able, the movements are going to be random, so it's going to help you out a lot more. And that's basically what you're going to see in game. You're not going to see a flower standing still. You're going to see a player jumping around and strafing. So try to aim on that player as much as you can. Try to track their movement. Let's say they jump, they move the other way. You're going to want to track the player as much as possible. And so that's dynamic tracking. Now you can also, when I'm up close doing like shotgun battles, a lot of times you won't see I'll track the player. I don't do that. That's really difficult. You won't even see a lot of pro players do that. It's really difficult to track something at close. So what you want to do is flick shot. You can see my flick shots are way better. I'm able to shoot right at this flower pretty accurately and land a shot right on it, just flicking to it. You'll see, I think the biggest player that uses flick up close is definitely Tifu. Every time he's in a shotgun fight, you'll see he'll basically be staring at the floor and he'll just flick like that. He's probably the best flick player in this game. You'll just see he'll aim at the floor and just keep on doing that and hit shotgun shot. He just hits so many shots just flicking like that. It's just a lot easier because, so let's look at it scientifically, you know, is it going to be easier to hold your aim on something for longer? You know, let's say it's continuously moving. Is it going to be easier for you to aim or lock on your aim for 5 seconds, you know, just keep shooting? Or is it going to be easier to lock on your aim for 0.1 seconds? That's all you need. 0.1 seconds to lock on your aim to them and fire. That's statistically, it's a lot easier to lock on for 1 second compared to locking onto them for 5 seconds as they're jumping. So that's why a lot of players just use flick shots. So that's what I prefer to do. Boom, flick, boom, boom. So that's how I like to practice, you know, up close flick shotting, just jumping. So like fixing onto something once again, jumping and try to hit them as much as possible. Try to hit that one little spot. Boom, boom, boom. And that's pretty much it for the video. So definitely make sure you guys practice these. I can tell you this all you want and I can show you guys how to do everything, but you guys have to actually want to put in the work. And it honestly isn't even that difficult to practice this. I mean, I go on for, before Playground I would go on for 3 matches, but with Playground you can see I've only been in here for 30 minutes, you know. I usually only stick in Playground for like 10 or 15 and practice all these. I'm more comfortable with others so I can get them done a little bit quicker, but yeah, just go in here, maybe spend an hour in here, learn how to master all these techniques, you know, do them a bunch of times until you get really smooth at them. Once you feel good about them, go into your first couple games and make sure you put these to use. You know, you got to use these in game or else you're not gonna get better. So whenever, you know, you're pushing someone, just think about, okay, let me just, you know, do my stair wall push. That's gonna work a lot more than just regular stairs. Just think about in game when to use these certain situations, and that's why I like to, when I practice, think about what situation I'm gonna be in game when I use these. So like, you know, just think about if you're in a build fight, okay, well, I'd use this in a build fight, you know, if I need to change direction, or if they're, you know, above shooting down on me, I'm gonna use this. So, you know, maybe when you're actually in that situation, you'll remember, hey, I did this, you know, I thought about being in this situation and I needed to do this. Alright guys, so just to wrap up this video, once again, you guys are going to want to do these tips and make sure that you're just fluid with everything, that you're comfortable, and that you can find your rhythm. And then once you start doing those things, you'll start recognizing your improvements, your weak points. You'll be getting better at them slowly, but it will come. But just make sure you take in all the information that I just gave you, use it, practice it, be sure to use it in game. And make sure when you're actually practicing this, you're thinking of situations that you would use it in, so that once you find yourself in that situation in game, you're like, ah, I remember when I was practicing, you know, I used this for, you know, I thought, you know, if I'm in this situation, I'll do this. And then once you find yourself in that situation in game, you'll be using it, and you'll find out that you'll be a lot better, and you'll know what to do a little bit more. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. Once again, if you guys liked, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if I helped you out, let me know in the comments. Let me know what I can do a little bit better in the future. Yeah, thank you for watching, and peace.